Aloha, Dan McDonald here, Life Regenerator. Today I'm going to make a video on the Master Cleanse, my own version. I'll give you a couple of versions that you can use yourself, since I'm pretty sure that most of you won't be able to get sugarcane, although at Asian markets sometimes they will have a cane juice machine and you can get those. I would get cane juice in Seattle, so it is possible. I like to use, so I have this whole thing, I haven't done anything, it's all closed up, so I'm going to show you the whole process and be as quick as I can. But I posted on Facebook a couple days ago about the Master Cleanse, and I just kind of wanted to make a video sharing my personal version. The Master Cleanse is like right below water fasting. The Master Cleanse is for masters. And I've been on the liquid diet for a little while. I'll probably keep that to myself, a little bit private, just because you know, it's kind of a private thing. I don't want to brag, and I also don't want anyone to you know, a lot of people get freaked out when you're not eating 3 meals a day. They think you're going to die in like 2 days or something. But there's so much more to all this that you know, you just have to be really educated, and I'm very educated on all of this stuff, and I've been through a lot, so I don't have the same fears, and I have a lot of experience with like water fasting and different juice fasts and fruit diets, and I've studied the material. So if crazy things happen, you know, sometimes people are like, I don't feel well. It's like you know, it's like, well, what did you expect? You've been eating cheeseburgers and donuts and all kinds of stuff. And then when you start cleansing out, and all that mucus, debris, acids, pus start to come back to be drained into the system, did you think you were going to feel good? Because all that sludge is going to go right back into the blood, and you're going to feel terrible. So when you get in a position where you need to cleanse yourself out, whether it's weight loss, cancer, or you're just you know, depressed even, it's all the same. There's one holy light, and then there's a bunch of crap that we do to snuff that out. That's how simple this is, folks. So are you going to eat fruit to get rid of all that debris? Are you going to water fast for a little bit? Are you going to juice fast? Are you just going to go on a raw foods diet? That's where you start. How are you going to get the obstructions out of the way of the divinity, of the divine intelligence that's operating at all times inside all things, and especially inside the amazing human being? The divine intelligence is always trying to bring you to a higher level, to guide you into the divine heart. Your heart is looking for its divine love through itself, so that there's a wholeness and a completion and a stillness and a peace and an ease and an illumination to become what you always were meant to be. So I was just going to be really quick. Obviously that's very funny because I say that every video and it's like, yeah, right. So I think I'll never say that again. Anyways, this is a mason jar. It's a 32-ounce mason jar. Okay, I just took 17 ounces is how large this bottle is. And then what I've got here is the world famous Makaleha spring water. I'm going to take a lemon here. So if you don't have, I'm going to give you a few options. If you can't find the cane juice, my second option is apples. I would say 2 apples and the rest water. This is a little bit concentrated, so it keeps my energy a little higher. As I progress, I will cut this into even less. Now, why am I doing this? Am I overweight? Do I have cancer? No. There's a certain type of, as you get simple, let's say you ate grapes for a week. You might have some hard times, but by the end of that week, your mind is going to be very clear, because most of us are walking around fermenting, putrefying, bad food combinations, blood sludge, all messed up, and your mind's not clear. But when you get simplified in your diet, the blood gets clear, a lot of the main debris is gone within the first few days of a real type of cleanse. The worst of it will be gone within 3 days, and your mind will get a lot clearer. But this is a journey, and it does take a lot of knowledge and education, and then you have to be brave enough to experiment. I'm just going to educate today. I was going to go quick, but Don't ever need to say that, because I want you to learn. Because my friend, she saw me, well, we actually officially met a couple weeks ago. I fed her a raw food meal. She was one of the ones that was ripe. She got the transmission through the food, through the DTM transmission of the energy field, which happens when someone's right. I've seen it many, many times. Most people don't take off, but she became a raw food person overnight a couple weeks ago. And then she told me about that, and I said, wow, I'm really impressed. And we were talking, and she was really absorbing the information like she was ripe. Very intelligent woman, very bright, and it brought out the best in me. I could give her the full download of the knowledge. And then she found out that we were hanging out, and she found out I was doing the master cleanse. And then, so she said, well, I want to do that too. So she's on day 3 of a master cleanse, calling me today, freaking out, because she's in it. And it was more emotional. So we were talking, and I just assured her, number one, you are a million miles away from doing any damage to your health. You know, if you did the master cleanse for like 6 months, or, you know, I mean, you might get depleted after a while. So let me just say, because this is you have to be smart, and you have to have someone that knows what they're doing, especially in the beginning. But it's a process, and you have to show up day in and day out, and you have to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them, and you got to know when to walk away, and you got to know when to run. And today she called me, and she was having a lot of emotions, and that was the one thing. And she came to the conclusion, talking to her, when I have stress, I go to the kitchen and I bake. Well, now she's on the master cleanse, and it's her 3rd day with the lemon and the water and the cane juice, which has a lot of minerals. She's going to be dissolving the mucus that comes from the baking, you know, and of course she's like, I'm vegan and gluten-free and all that. Veganism doesn't mean much when it comes to leaving behind glue. I know the vegans, a lot of times they'll hallucinate and think that if you're vegan, everything's going to be great. But I have had vegan friends that were raw vegans that, well, not raw vegans, but I mean vegans. There was a friend of mine who was a vegan, and she got cancer. So it ain't like that, because vegan donuts, I have a joke. What's the difference between a vegan donut and a regular donut? Nothing. Okay, so it's just like that. The vibrational frequency, the pasty glue that gets left behind in your kidneys, in your blood vessels, in your colon, in your small intestine, in your stomach, and when you start fasting, you got a coating on your tongue. That's all the mucus in your body. So my friend called me up, she's freaking out, I'm gonna be okay. I talked her down, she's gonna keep going. Because if you're busting through your stuff. You're feeling your stuff for the first time. You wanna go get a pizza? That's fine. I'm gonna ride this out. I'm gonna hold fast. Comprende? I'm gonna hold fast through this emotional stuff. Your mind is gonna be like, oh my God, I'm killing myself. I haven't had any food for 3 days. It's like, no, you're getting hydrated for the first time in your life. You're 72% water. You need water, you need minerals, and then the fruit here is the solvent. The lemon is a solvent. Okay, so I got the 17 ounces of cane juice, or you can do apple juice. The next best version for DTM is honey, and my 3rd favorite is maple syrup, only because it's cooked, and I want the living enzymes. This cane juice has living enzymes in it, so all this is alive. The maple syrup is not alive, so it goes against my philosophy. Now, that being said, if that's all you've got, that sweetens the water. It also makes it more palatable, so you're much more likely to continue to juice and hydrate yourself. And the lemon is actually the medicine. The cayenne is useful. So most of you would probably want to use cayenne. For me personally, being like a Vata type, it's a little bit irritating for me, so I just took it out. I was using it at first, but it was just sort of irritating me, and I just didn't need it. I need the hydration, and I need the lemon, and it's more like, for me, it's like I don't have a lot of physical toxins. I'm just working on staying focused, keeping my blood clean, which is just like because this is a grass. So so I keep my blood clean, so my mind is clear, so I can continue to use this as a spiritual practice to purify my heart, to clarify my brain. So I've got 17 ounces of cane juice, and you want to, so probably what you want to do is 16 ounces of apple juice, and then the rest water and lemon. If you're going to use honey, you'll take a jar of water and a lemon and a couple tablespoons of honey, a couple tablespoons of maple syrup. There are other options. I'm not a fan of the dehydrated coconut sugars and things like that. I did an experiment one time. There was this whole big thing about all this sugar and stuff. So I broke my own thing, because I do a lot of experimentation. One day I'll tell you all about it. It'd be very controversial at this time. No animal products, but some other weird things. I don't need the animal products, I already got that, but I wanted to try a few other little things here and there, and I did, and I just wanted to come to some conclusions about my own experience. But anyways, with the I don't even remember what the hell I was talking about, but I did an experiment with the fake sugar, or not fake sugar, but just coconut sugar. I took a spoonful, I put it in my mouth turned to acid in an instant. It was just acid central, and I knew it, and the red flags went down, and I threw that crap away. So I wanted to try what the whole hoopla is about all this sugar crap going on out there, and it's no. It instantly hit my mouth, it was instantly acidic, and I got it right then and there. I need these foods, I need the moisture for one. I think when you take the moisture out of the sugars, it does go acid. I think that you need to have the moisture in there to make it for something. I don't know, but I'm just not a big fan of the granulated, dehydrated cane juices or coconut syrups. I mean, I'm talking about whole fruits, mangoes, dates are pretty good, but not in excess, bananas, papayas, for your sweet fruits, and I do like honey, and I have a lot of reasons for liking honey. I've known a lot of bee farmers, and I've never seen any violence against bees. In fact, I raised goats, and I never hurt my goats. I raised chickens, I never hurt my chickens. So there's another side to the story. It's not, using animal products is not all violence. So we just need to get educated. I like this well-rounded consciousness of you can have a cow, milk it, and never hurt it in its entire life and love it. And old Bess loves you, and she's glad to have a place to stay. So not all animal products is violence and stuff like that. Yes, slaughterhouses suck, and people need to keep posting videos showing everyone this is what they're doing to the pigs. So next time you order a pepperoni pizza, think about it. I'm totally with that. But going around and attacking everyone for potentially like having goat kefir or, I understand. There's just, for me, it's just about love and more understanding. Now me, I'm able to live a certain way, and it works for me, and I haven't had animal products in like 15 years, and well, I haven't been perfect. You know what I'm saying? I had a few eggs when I was in New York and stuff like that, but it's just, who out among us is perfect? No one. Because we all have this process. If I knew about the fats when I was in New York, I wouldn't have freaked out. I was in New York trying to be a fruitarian. And you can't be in New York because that is the war zone. You need to buffer. If I knew then what I know now about the raw living fats, I would have just went on an avocado diet and used more oils and just used those oils to create a buffer between myself and the insane environment called New York. But I didn't know how to do that. And there's another thing about the eggs too, is that when they put the in you, that's got the egg stuff in it, and then your body can get addicted to that kind of stuff. So you have to have a lot of compassion once you have understanding. There's too much judgment and not enough knowledge going on out there to where people are just so quick to judge without really truly understanding that someone might have just adrenal burnout. They've got adrenal burnout, they've got 4 kids, and they don't get to just stop and take 6 months to regenerate their adrenals. They're addicted to meat. And you can't get pissed off at them because they got 4 kids and a husband, and the world's not going to stop for them. And they know when they pull the meat out, their adrenals go flat, and it's going to take them 6 months of rest and sleep. And who gets that? No one, because the government's not going to give them that. So we all need to have a lot more compassion. compassion for the animals and compassion for the people and compassion for our ancestors, who there wouldn't even be any veganism if it wasn't for animal products, because we never would have survived, because we would have froze our asses off if we didn't eat the little pigs that run behind us, or the chickens that they put in the little wagon cart, laying the eggs and killing the chickens, and the little, you know, I mean, that's a whole big story. So it's just, that's why once you get educated and you really have an expansive understanding of what life is, you don't even really, once you become aware, there's no need to judge anyone. Just have compassion, pray, and be a living example, and show the world, and be what you are, and be what you want to teach. And then the world will automatically, the right people at the right place at the right time, but you're sending out a frequency of consciousness that affects the world without you saying anything. You don't need to make YouTube videos, you don't need to have campaigns and have parades, you just need to be aware. And that is, those thoughts coming out of your mind emanate out into the field and collapse the wave function, so that more and more people can tap into that frequency and say, you know, if that person doesn't need animal products, or can break away from that, because most people understand it's not the most environmentally friendly thing. It's not worthy of going and getting pissed off and killing anyone, or going and judging anyone for what they eat, but all of us working together to do the best that we can, to create the best world that we can, peacefully and through love. So that was, I don't know why I went on that rant, but anyways, I just do what needs to be done as it flows through me. This is the Master Cleanse. For a man, you would want to drink, if you use apple juice or honey or maple syrup, you would want to drink probably 4 or 5 of these for a man, about my size, you know, and this is just to stay nice and stable, and about 3 or 4 for a woman. And you can use the cayenne, if you, a little dash of cayenne is good. And so you do your own version, and so here's the answer to the question, how long do you do this? One day is really good to just, one day is like a quick colon flusher. You'll have a really nice bowel movement about 24 to 36 hours after starting this. It'll be a really nice solid cleansing movement. You can do 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, 10 days is about an average, and you can do this for 40 days. And if you do it for 40 days, the word master cleanse, you will be a master. Your colon will be clean, your blood will be clean, your heart vessels will be clean. Oh, you'll be a ninja. And some of you would have an easier time of doing that than others. And I can assure you, you're not going to die. You might feel like it sometimes. The parasites might be dying. You might be dealing with 47 years of emotional stagnation. You might not have the mental understanding and the knowledge of what's happening within your body, and why you need to take like 2 days, 3 days to sleep and to regenerate your adrenals. But that's why you want to create space. But our world doesn't make it for that. So I had to create my own life, so that I could follow my journey, so that if I need to take a nap, because I'm on day 6 of a master cleanse, and I'm like, it's all happening, and I need to go take a nap so that I can sleep through that process, through adrenal burnout, or some kind of nervous system cleansing, or my lungs are cleansing themselves, or my heart is cleansing itself out, or there's emotional release that's just so intense that I need to go home and just cuddle up with myself. Whatever's going on, you're going to be in this process. Am I encouraging the master cleanse? Just planting a seed here. It can be just cleaner eating. It can be a 1-day grape fast, or a 7-day watermelon cleanse. Anything, because trust me, closing the gate on the excessive stimulation of your senses. You've closed the 5 gates. And you go inward and you find the treasure of life. And I hope this video was enough. If there's more questions, you know, I've got more to come. So, Here's to you, your health, your happiness, your spiritual enlightenment, your emotional freedom, your physical digestion, absorption, utilization of the food that you eat, so that it might become a love note from nature and an energizing springboard into your highest and best self. My prayer is that your potential, well, that you will allow the potential that is within you trying to birth itself. You're like a flower, and you're the one who can provide the right amount of sunlight, the right amount of water, planted in the right soil with the nice healthy microbes. The environment that you create is the epigenetics for the expression of your DNA, which causes you to be youthful, energetic, and all the different hormones and precursors to those chemicals which lead to happier, healthier states of awareness, consciousness, and being. Aloha. Thanks for subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear some feedback in the comment section down below. It's such an honor to be of service. Aloha.